Finding the area of a quadrilateral. First of all, we got to make sure we understand. A quadrilateral is any shape that has four sides. Quad means four, lateral means side, and two pairs of parallel sides, meaning lines that will never intersect. So if we go over to this shape here, I see this top line and this bottom side are both parallel. They're going to go on forever and they will never intersect. Same thing over here. These two other sides will always go on forever and they will never intersect. So this is a quadrilateral. So if I need my area, it's the base times the height, or the length times the width. It doesn't matter which way you like to think the area, it's one side times the other side. So in this one, it's one side times the other side. So 4 times 4 is 16 inches squared. Because what area means, it's always inches squared. It's always the unit squared. If I created a little 1 inch square, a little 1 inch by 1 inch square, what's this area means, 16 inches squared, is if I printed out 16 of these, that's how many would fit in this box. 16 1 inch squares could fit inside. Over here, I see these two sides are parallel. They look straight up and down, so they'll never intersect. These two sides on top and bottom also look parallel. So I know if it's a good old square or rectangle, base times height or length times width will get us to our answer. 7 times 3 is 21 inches squared. So that means if I printed out 21 of these little 1 inch squares, that's how many would fit inside here. That's how much space there is inside this shape. The area of triangles. A triangle is any shape that has 3 sides and 3 angles, like here. And if we want to find the area, how much space is there, it is going to still be base times the height, just like a square, but we divide it by 2, okay? That's the only thing that's different between our quadrilaterals and our triangles. The trickiest thing is how to decide which 2 sides count as your B and H, which ones are your base and the height. So if we go over to this first example, I see we have 1, 2, 3 options for our base and height. So I know my area is equal to base times height divided by 2. But I need to figure out what's my base, what's my height, which of the 2 numbers are going to count. And you always get your base and height because they're connected by the right angle. So in this case, 3 and 4 are my base and height because these 2 sides straight up create that 90-degree right angle. The base and the height are always connected by the right angle sign. The 3 and 4 are connected, so those are the 2 I would use. I'm going to totally ignore the 5. Now this is just PEMDAS. Before we divide in a fraction, we need one number on top and bottom. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 would be 6 inches squared. So that means if we printed out 6 1-inch squares, they would fit in this triangle. Now over here it gets a little more complicated because no 2 sides automatically create that nice right angle. So sometimes your math will give you a little dotted line that goes through the center of your triangle and you'll still find that right angle. Because right now we have 4 different numbers and we're going to ignore 2 of them when we actually find our area. So our area is equal to base times the height divided by 2. Now we have to figure out which 2 sides out of the 4 to use. I see that these 2 are connected by the right angle, so there is automatically my base and my height. We're going to ignore the 8 and the 7. You always need the height and the base, and you know you have your 2 sides because they're connected by the right angle. 4 times 6 is 24. Divided by 2 is 12 inches squared. So if we printed out 12 1-inch squares, they would fit into the triangle up on top.